Students, good evening. Students who are in the online, am I audible, students? Am I audible? Please respond. Okay, so let's start the discussion. Previously, we discussed the concept of what? Break and continue. And at the same time, we already aware of that pause statement also. And a pause statement is not only one-day statement that we will use daily. So regarding the pause, already we know what is the meaning of pause. What is the meaning of pause? Pause is a keyword which makes the PVM and Python compiler not to consider the indentation block, or makes the pause keyword to bypass the indentation block, or not to consider the indentation block. Not to consider the indentation block. Not to consider the indentation block. Lights ayallamma ikkada. Lights anavasaram dagara lights on unnai, avasaramaina dagara lights levu. So now let us start with the topic. Another, go to the flow control statements. Go to the flow control statements. There I am going to take up. Go to the index of flow control statements. Now here, this part we is done. Now we are going to discuss about inner or nested loops. We discuss it. Inner or nested loops. Now I'm going to inner or nested loops. More important, let us start understanding about inner or nested loops. So look into this. So here, inner or nested loops I'm going to discuss. What do you mean by inner or nested loops? Shall we start off? Fine. Have you written the notes? Previous class notes? Programs written? Practiced? Got results? Okay. Now, let us, no, written not completed, sir. Lohit. So, written I did not explain. I don't explain also now. I will explain written statement in functions. In functions, we will, next topic is called what? Functions. There I will talk about what? Written. Written. Okay. Until that, I don't discuss written statement now itself. Okay, Lohit. So now let us start with the this nested loops or inner loops. Very, very easy. Let us start understanding here. Consider the following. Consider the following. I'll go to paint. I'll take the paint. One screen I will take it. Paint I will take it. So there I'm going to take up something like this, students. So my requirement today is, here I'm writing something like this. My requirement today is to display the values like this. To display the values like this. My requirement in today is something like this. It is something like this. Is to display the following. Is to display the following. What is that, you know? I want to display 1, 2, and 3, and then 4, and then 5. I just want to display something like this. My requirement is to display 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, and 3, and then 4, and then 5. Like this, I want to display. Come in. So this is my requirement of displaying 1 to 5. How do you display this 1 to 5? Come on, everybody. How do you display 1 to 5? Come on. By using for loop. How do you display for I in range of 1, 6. There I will write it 1, 6. There I will write it print of what? I. Print of I. What is the value of I printed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is printed. Okay. Right. So we understood that because of this state, because of If you want only like that, I will write one for loop that you have already seen that for I in range of what, 1 comma 6 and then print of what I. You can also write in the form of what while loop also you can write it. I is equal to 1, I less than or equal to 5, and I'll say print of I, and I is equal to I plus 1. Either you can go for while loop or you can go for loop. Okay, students. Now, for a minute, here, my requirement in today is for this one, when one is coming, when this one is coming, 5 నిమిషాల్లో ఆఫ్ చేస్తా క్లాస్, అది ఆఫ్ చేయకపోతే. తీసుకురా మిషన్, తీసుకురా ఫస్ట్, తీసుకురా. I is equal to, when that one is coming, I want to display what? 1. I want to display 1, 2, and 3 I want to display. Whenever that 1 is coming, internally I want to display what again? 1, 2, 3 I want to display. 1, 2, 3 I want to display. When this 1 is coming, I want to display in turns what? 1, 2, 3. When 2 comes now, when 2 comes, again I want to display what? 1, 2, 3 I want to display. When 2 comes, I want to display what again? 1, 2, 3 I want to display. Again I want to display 1, 2, 3. When 2 comes, I want to display what? 1, 2, 3 I want to display. When 3 comes, I want to display what again? 1, 2, 3 I want to display. When 4 comes, I want to display what? When 4 comes, I want to display what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 I want to display. When 5 comes, I want to display what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 I want to display. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. I just want to display. Are you just following me? Like this I want to display. So take care, students. Is it clear or not clear? Clear. So here the point is, for every value of these things, in turns I want to display what? 1, 2, 3. So tell me, first you tell me how to display these values, you tell me. Come on, everybody must participate in the discussion. Come on. For I in range of 1 comma 6. 1 minute. 1 comma 6. 1 comma 6. Good. 1 comma 6. Okay. When this is coming, I will print what here? Print of I. What are the values printed? Good. Now where is my cursor is available? My cursor is within the loop na. In that I will write one more loop, student. Red in color I will write. For j in range of 1 comma 4. 1 comma 4. This for loop is written inside of what? Another for loop. This for loop is known as what? Inner for loop. This for loop is called outer for loop. So here, students, colon, I am writing there is what, print of j. Print of j. Print of what? J. Here I am writing one else part. I am writing one else part. What is this else part is doing? I am writing print of, just for your understanding purpose, out of what? Out of inner for loop. Which loop? Inner for loop. Inner for loop. When it comes to else, means it is out of inner for loop or not? Now you see, student, where is my cursor is available? Out of inner for loop means else. Now I am writing what here? Else. There I am writing what here? Print of. I am out of what? Out of what loop? Outer for loop. Outer for loop. Just I will write some small points. You just see, when this is coming, this is called what? Outer loop. And this is called what? Inner loop. And this part from here, where it is going? From this place where it is going, first you tell me, is it going to this place or not? Just observe, students. This is going to this place. Some arrows I will write it here for your clarity to tell the answers properly. So I will start the flow. You need to answer. This is comes under what? Inner for loop. Which loop this is? Inner for loop this is. And from here it is going to where? From here it is going to where? It is going to where? When it is coming out of the inner for loop. When it is coming out of the inner for loop, it is going to the outer for loop or not? It is going to the outer for loop. I hope, students, you people are getting my point. See that here I am going to say, here I am going to say this value. Are you able to follow now? Start. This loop is known as what? What is this loop is known as? Inner for loop. Inner for loop. This loop is called inner for loop. Here it is going to be called as what? This is called as what? Outer for loop. Outer for loop we can call. Let us start discussing about the subject. Shall we start? Let us start the discussion now. Start, students. Now here, what is my answer now? Start with. First PVM comes to where? PVM comes to where? Already I wrote it. Outer for loop. Be careful. I mentioned every direction also. What is the value of I? That is 1 to 6. 1 to 6 means it is going to be 1 to 5. Right. What is the value of I? 1. 1. Next, what is the value of J? What is the value of J? 1. What is the value printed now? J. That is called 1. Where it is going? Where it is going? Muddu Babalu, inner for loop. Student, sir. You call them once. వెళ్ళారా వాళ్ళు కూడా అక్కడికి వెళ్ళారా this is a headache, students. Now let us start. What is the value of J printed? 1. Where it is going? Inner for loop. Online students, interact with me. In going to where? Inner for loop. What is the value of J? Come on. 2. 2. What is printed now? 2. 2 is printed. 2 is printed. Going to where again? What is the value of J? 3. What is the value of J printed? 3. Go to where? Go to where? Madhubabu, go to inner for loop. Inner for loop is becoming what? False. Go to where? Else part. మీకు ఇంగ్లీష్ రాదు, చెప్పడానికి రాదు, రెండు రావు మీకు అసలు. West. Going to where? Out of inner for loop means go to else part of inner for loop. From there, what is the message printed? Where it is going now? Outer for loop. What is the value of I? 2. 2. 2 printed. Coming to where again? Inner for loop. What is the value of J? 1. Print what? Go to where? What is the value of J? 2. Print what? 2. Go to where? What is the value of J? 3. Print what? 3. Go to where? Inner for loop. What is the value of inner for loop? False. Go to where? Else part. Else part is called what? Out of inner for loop. Going to where? What is the value of I? 3. Print what? 3. Go to where? What is the value of J? Print what? 1. Go to where? Inner for loop. What is the value of J? 2. Print what? 2. Go to where? Inner for loop. What is the value of J? 3. Print what? 3. Go to where? Inner for loop. What is the value of inner for loop? False. Go to where? Else part of inner for loop. Out of inner for loop. Go to where? What is the value of I? Good. 4. 4. What is the value of I printed? 4. What is the value of j? 1. Print what? 1. Go to where? What is the value of j? 2. Print 2. Go to where? What is the value of j? 3. Print what? 3. Go to where? Inner for loop is what? False. Comes out of else part. Out of inner for loop. Inner for loop. Else part. Go to where? Outer for loop. What is the value of I? 5. 5. Print what? 5. Print 5. Go to where? Inner for loop. What is the value of j? 1. Print what? 1. Go to where? What is the value of j? 2. Print 2. Go to inner for loop. J value 3. Print what? 3. Print 3. 3. Go to inner for loop. False. Come out of inner for loop. Go to else part of inner for loop. Go to the outer for loop. Outer for loop also false. Totally coming to the else part of outer for loop. Is it printed or not? This is related to inner for loop. So this is the loop we defined inside of another loop or not? The process of defining one loop inside of another loop is called what? Nested for loop. Nested for loop. Now, one student asked very long back in the chart window, can we come out of inner for loop by using break? Already I said yesterday. If I use for loop, inside for loop, inside for loop, inside for loop, inside for loop, if I use break here, it will come out of that for loop only. Are you following? If I use break in this for loop, it will come out of that for loop only. It will go to the other for loops concept as usual. Whenever I use break statement, it will come out of the corresponding loop only. It won't come out of the total for loops. Are you following me? So if I have 20 inner for loops are there, if I use 19th for loop, it will come out of 19th for loop only. It is not coming out of 1 to 19 for loops. It won't come. Are you able to follow, students? Right. Students who asked that question, I hope that I responded to that doubt. I will use it in the class also. Don't worry. Is it clear, students? So what did you understand about the inner for loops? What did you understand about the loops? Tell me. Definition I am saying. The process of defining one loop inside of what? Another loop is called what? Inner or good nested loop. Good. What is the execution process of inner loop which you have observed it? For every value of which loop? Outer loop. Inner loop repeated how many times? 3 times. In general, for every value of inner loop, for every value of outer loop, inner loop repeated some finite number of times or not? So now I am writing the execution process of inner loops is that here I am writing for every value of which loop? Outer loop. For every value of outer loop, inner loop repeats or executes for finite number of times. Inner loop repeats or executes for what? Finite number of times. Until test condition becomes what? False. Becomes false. Inner loop becomes what? False. For every value of outer loop, inner loop repeats or executes for finite number of times until test condition becomes false. Did you understand? Well, now I'm going to enter into the students. Now see, students, is this clear? Now I'm asking one question. Application based question. Outer for loop 4 times, inner for loop 6 times. What is the total number of times loops executes? Madhubabu, outer for loop 4 times, inner for loop 6 times. How many times? 4 into 6. 24 times. For every value of outer loop, inner loop repeats for finite number of times. Outer loop how many times? 4 times. Inner loop how many times? 6 into 4, 24. 6 plus 4 చేస్తాడు 10. So I'm saying easily, earlier outer for loop repeats how many times? 5 times. Inner loop repeats how many times? Totally how many times? 15 times. You can count it here. You can count it here 15 times. Correct or not? Right? You know, students, that Behra is at coming to morning class also, 7 o'clock. Behra is coming today. He is there in the class. Wherever I go, he is following me, I think so. Like a network, something slogan. Wherever you go, network follows. What is that? Vodafone something. Vodafone, Airtel, something. Wherever you go, our network follow. But when we follow him, it is difficult. He cannot escape. Anyhow, he is again saying, sir, please don't remove me, sir. I want to learn Python, sir, he is saying. If you learn Python, cool and come, no problem. But he's saying, sir, will you teach data science, sir? Will you teach Django, sir? You please teach C language, sir. He's saying in the middle that messages. These are all called, I removed that guy. Again came on Sivaranjan, one more name. He is coming. Until finally he said, what, sir, I am interested in cinema field, sir. Do you know anybody, sir? He's asking. These are all called Behra doubts. These are called. This is what is that guy is doing. So he's a mentally disordered guy. Okay, coming to the point back. So I will go for that. Giridharan, it is a problem. If he learns well, he only use for his mischiefs. Correct. So let us move to the further. Now I'm going to use, in how many ways I can use the for loops? In how many ways we can come across this nested loops? 4 ways. How many loops are there actually? 2 loops. 2 loops. Binary values are 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1. Like 2 loops. While loop and for loop. How to use while, for, while, for. These are the 4 ways. I will show you that 4 ways. We can use inner loops in how many ways? Inner loops in 4 ways. In 4 ways, I'm going to use it. 4 ways. They are, now I'm going to use syntax number 1, syntax number 2. I want to use those syntaxes. Let us start using this syntaxes. Syntax number 1. So syntax number 2 also I will use. Like that, syntax number 3. Syntax number 4 also I want to use it. So finally, here I'm going to use it. Syntax number 1. What is the syntax number 1, students? For loop in for loop. For loop in for loop I am using. Syntax number 2 I am going to use it. Syntax number 2. Syntax number 2 I am using. What is this now? While loop in while loop. While loop in while loop I am using. Next one is called what? Come on. While loop in for loop. While loop in for loop. Syntax number 3. Next I will use it. Syntax number 4. What is the syntax number 4? Yes. For loop in while loop. For loop in while loop. Let us write the first syntax. You have already seen or not? Tell me now. For variable name 1 in iterable object. Iterable object. Iterable object. I will write here block of statements. Here I am writing block of statements. Block of statements. There I am writing it. One more I will write it, students. For variable name 2. Variable name 2 in where? Iterable object. Iterable object. There I am writing here block of statements. What is this now? Block of statements. Block of statements. This loop is called what, students? Outer loop. What is this is called? Inner loop. Inner loop I will take. And this I will write it else. Else block of what? Else block of statements. Then I will write what here, students? Here I am writing Else once again, there I am writing what again, students? Else block of statements. This is comes under what? What this is comes under? One for loop in for loop. I'll show you the example. Shall I? Let us go to the plot. I'm going to take it. Go to the PyCharm. Go to the PyCharm. So inner loop concept, I'm going to use it. So coming to the point back, here I'm going to use it. Who is this? Mayank? Sir, you already explained about iterable object, but in which topic name this iterable object was explained? Sorry, sir, I forget. Okay. So which topic I was explained, that is not a matter, but you need to remember iterable object is one which contains more number of values. If you remember that, that is more than enough. I was actually explained in membership operator. Okay, Mayank? No. I was explained in the membership operator. Now coming to the point. What is this now? Inner loop, inner loops example 1.py. Inner loops example 1.py. Look into this, students. There I'm writing this program demonstrate inner loops. Inner loops. What is this inner loop, students? For loop in for loop. For loop in for loop, I am going to say. Tell me, students, for I in range of 1, 6, 1, 6. Now I'm going to take up. Okay. So they are asking me to go for what? 11 a.m. loops. Okay. So go to that. So you don't want this. I'll copy this. You copy this now. You want in your place only. So close this project. Go to the place. 6 p.m. loops. Ashutosh. Now coming to this place, I'll take up inner loops example 1.py. There I start with. Okay. Print of what? I will write here. I will write here value of what, students? I is equal to, I'll write it there. Value of I is equal to dot format of what? I. Okay. Done. Then immediately I will write it for j in a range of 1, 4, 1, 4, print of what I say, value of j. Value of j, I will write it. Inside I will write value of j. Here I will write it backslash t, value of j, I will write it. This is what I am writing j, right? There I am writing, students, on the top of it, one small line also I want to give you, student, 50. Now at the same time I am giving here, print of what? Out of what? I am saying I am out of what loop? Inner loop. And I will say this line here, close. This line I am just writing closing line. For your clarity purpose, I am writing this. Okay, students. Now at the same time, I am writing else part. I am writing this same thing. Here I am saying that. What is this now? I am out of what loop? Outer loop I am saying. Outer loop I am writing. Here I am saying here. So some star. Shall we execute? You know the flow and everything, right? Let us run this code. See the students. Now you got the output all the way. You just observe it, students. Value of I. This is called which loop? Outer loop. For every value of I, what is printed? Inner loop printed 3 times or not? Again it is a 2, 3 times. Again it is a 3, 3 times. Again it is a 4, this many times. Again this is a 1, this many times. And totally I am from where? Outer loop. Is this output is clear? Right. Go to the place. Next, I'm going to use what? While loop, I will use it. Online students, did you catch this point? Come on to the point. Next, I'll go to inner loop example2.py. Inner loop example2.py. 2.py. Now I'm going to take it. 2.py, I'm going to take it. See, students, there I'm going to take up. Same thing only. I will carry this part. Here I'm going to take up. Here I'm going to write it. What loop it is? While loop in what? While loop. While loop in while loop, I am going to take it. Inner loop example2.py. Tell me through while loop, same example. I is equal to 1. Come on. While I less than or equal to 5. While I less than or equal to what? 5. Print what? Less than or equal to 5. I will just get the same format, students. This point I will get it. Here I wrote it. Following? Next I will write what? J is equal to what? 1. I am writing what now? J less than or equal to 3. What I will write it there? I'll get this message here. I'll get this message here. J value. Immediately I will increase J is equal to J plus 1. J is equal to J plus 1. I will write J is equal to J plus 1. This will be repeated some number of times. It will come to where? L spot. When you are coming to L spot, what are you doing? This spot you are doing. And moreover, before going to the out of this, from here, it is going to where? Outer loop. Before going to that, you are saying what? I is equal to I plus 1. You need not to write this place. You can write even in this place also, you can write it. There also you can write it. But better, I will write. No problem, you can write there happily, students. But I am writing here also, you can write the same statement. I is equal to I plus 1. Are you following? With that I is equal to I plus 1, it will go to the outer for loop. And I will write one more else spot here. This else spot I will write it. This is for this purpose. This is the else I wrote it. Take care. This is called what? Inner while loop. This is called inner while loop. This is comes under what? Outer while loop. The process of defining one loop inside of another loop is called nested or inner. This is called while in while. You can write another while also. While in while in while. I will write that also, students. Wait. Because I'll give multiple. So many examples I will teach you today. Run this now. So you are getting the same answer like previous. Same pattern of example in different ways. Are you getting ma? So 1, 2, 3 for 1, 1, 2, 3. For this 2, 1, 2, 3. For this 3, 1, 2, 3. For this 2 and for this 5, 1, 2, 3. And I am out of what? Outer loop. Right. Good. Coming out of that, this is inner loop, while in while. Go to the syntax ones. Go to the syntax ones. Tell me, students. Here I will write it. Tell me now. While. What is this now? Test condition 1, students. There I will write it, students. Block of statements. Block of statements. Block of statements. So here I am writing. After that, one more I am writing, students. What is this now? Test condition 2. Test condition 2. There I am writing, students. Another block of statements. Another block of statements. I'm going to give you another block of statements. This is called what? Else. For what? Else block of statements of inner. This I will mention, students. What is this? Inner loop. And this is called what, ma? Yes, good. Outer loop, this is called. Inner loop and then outer loop. This is what I am writing is else. Here I am writing. Here I am writing else. So I wrote it else. This is comes under else. Are you able to follow, students? Inner loop as well as what? Outer. This is one of the example whose corresponding example also available in this place. Next I will go for what? See the skeleton of it. While loop in for loop. In this place, which is an outer loop? While or for? While loop. While in for loop. For is the outer and while is the inner. Inner. Simple. If you don't understand this, how do you survive, students? Get this one. As usual, get this. I am writing. This place this line I will write it. In this place I will remove and I will substitute. That's all. What this is called? This one is known as what? While loop writing in where? This is called outer loop. This part is called what? Inner loop. That's all. Simple. So here I'll just try to adjust it. So here I am writing here to take it. This is the one else of this. This is the one. Now I want to write the coding for this. Shall we write? Go to that. Here I am saying inner loop example 3.py. Inner loop example 3.py. See students, 3.py. There I am going to copy the same example. I will copy students because I want to cover more examples. 3 here. What is this now? While loop in for loop. This for loop I am doing as it is. But today I want to do here like this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What about this? 3, 2, 1. Again what? 3, 2, 1. Again 3, 2, 1. 1 if you want. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3 if you want. You can go like this also. So first I will go to that. Next example I will go like this. Come on now. How do you do this now? 5 comma 0 comma minus 1. You already know this. So 5 comma 0 comma minus 1. Value of 5. And what I will write it here? I will write while loop. J is equal to what? 3. J is equal to 3. What I am doing now? While j greater than or equal to what? 1. I will print. I'll print that same. I'll print the same. Get this part. Here I am writing j is equal to what? J minus 1. That's all. That's all. J is equal to j minus 1. Value of j. It is going on printing 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It is printed what? 3, 2, 1. Out of inner loop, out of outer loop. As usual, the things will be done. Execute. 3.py. 3.py. No? Line number? Oh, okay, okay. J is equal to what? 3. Okay, correct. Now you execute. See students, output you see, all of you, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Under that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1 is going to be 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1 like this. And what about this part here, students? 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, and 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, and 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Are you following? This is about one loop inside of. This is known as outer loop. This is known as what? Inner loop. So I already mentioned in the syntax also, outer loop. So system is very fast like you. After typing, it will come after 10 minutes. So I already typed outer. So when it will come, I don't know. So it will come. Start. Outer loop. And this is called what now? Inner loop. Right, inner loop. Change the system. Okay, my dear student, I will change it. Okay, definitely. I'll change it. So inner loop and then outer loop. This is skeleton number 3 is over. Skeleton number 4. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Next what? What is an outer loop, ma? While loop is an outer. What is the inner for loop? So I will take this skeleton. While I will take it. Here I will take up students. Now I'm going to take up. Here I'm going to take up. This part is there. Now I will go for one for loop. I will carry. This part I will carry. This part I will carry. This part I will carry. Well, so here students, this is the one block of statements and this is a one. Then I got this. Are you understanding? This is an outer loop and this is a inner loop. That's all. I will go to the example also. It's dead easy for you. Say take the same thing. While loop example I will carry students. It is 4.py. 4 skeletons I am showing, but be careful. What is our plan of action? This part I will carry. What is that now? 4.py. What is our things? For loop in while loop 4.py. What is our thing? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. It is whatever you like it. You want 1, 2, 5, 3, 4 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 2, 1. ఏదైనా ఒకటే కదా మీకు. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and this I will take it as what? 3. J greater than or equal to what? 1. Value of j, what I will write? J minus 1. This is the 1 and this is called what? I plus 1 and here I will write for loop. I will write it. Correct or not? For loop. Tell me. For j in range of 3 comma 0 comma minus 1. 3 comma 0 minus 1. Value of j printed, j is equal to j minus 1. And this is not necessary to write it. Why? Because automatic decrementation is there or not? Automatic decrementation is available. Try to run this. Obviously, this is comes under which loop? Outer loop. What about this is called? Inner loop. This is inner loop. This is called inner loop. Try to run this, students. Here I am going to get it as usual. See, students, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this. And as usual, 3 to 1, 3 to 1, 3 to 1, we got it. Are you able to follow? This is about how we are going to deal with the inner loops. 4 skeletons, 4 different programs I said. Now I'm going to the, in the nested loops only, another example I want to go for it. Right now, open the notes. Students in the online, is it clear, students? Is this concept is clear? Now I'm going for some other examples on the same. Write down. Write a Python program. Write a Python program. Write a Python program which will display, which will generate, you write, which will generate 1 to n multiplication tables. Which will generate 1 to n multiplication tables. 1 to n multiplication tables where n is a positive integer value. 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 Did you understand that first? Look at, students. How many multiplication? I am giving something like this. How many multiplication tables you want? Tables you want. Suppose if I say 6 and 6 tables I want. What is that now? 1. Number 1 is coming. What should I do? 1 table I want. 1 into 1 is equal to 1. So on I need to print what here? 1 into 10 I need to print. This is so on I need to print 1 into 10. 1 into 10 is equal to 10. This is a 1. Next I want to print what? 2. 2. What is that? Number 2 is coming. What should I display again? 2 into 1 is equal to 2. Next I will write 2 into, so on I will write what? 2 into what? 20. 2 into 10 I will take it. Is equal to what? 20. Like this I will go on displaying what? Up to 6 I will generate. Up to 6 I will generate. Are you able to follow? Up to 6 I want to generate. 6. Now I want to go for 6 into 1 is equal to what? 6. Now I will go for taking something like this. Here I am writing 6 into 2, 6 into what? 10 is equal to what? 60. Who will generate this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Outer for loop. Who will generate the multiplication table? Multiplication table is generated by one more for loop. This is generated by one more for loop. Is it not multiplication table generation is called inner loops concept? Yes. Let us go to the point back. Here I'm going to do that. So same thing. So I'm going to take up inner loops example 5.py. Inner loops example 5.py. 5.py. There I will write it. Done. 5.py. So what is this now? Program for generating n 1 to n multiplication tables. Are you able to follow? Multiplication tables. Come on fast. Int of input of enter how many multiplication tables you want. Enter how many multiplication tables you want. N less than or equal to 0. Negative number or what? 0 number entered. It is known as which one? Invalid input. Is what? Invalid input. Is invalid input. Dot format of what? N. I will say here called what? Else. Else I will go for it. There I am going to start with. What should I do? First numbers need to take. What is that now? For I in, for like this I will take. For number in range of what? In range of what? 1 comma n plus 1. Why n plus 1? If I say 6, 6 plus 1 means 7. 1 to 7 means what? 6. I entered 6, 6 will come. Right? 1 to 1 comma n plus 1. For example, if you print NUM, you try to run this and see this result. Suppose 6, 1 to 6 is coming. For that 1, I want to print the multiplication table. 2 also multiplication table. I'm going to say there print of. Now I'm going to take up there $50. There I'm going to write a print of multiplication table. Multiplication table. I'm writing there multiplication table for dot format of what? In NUM. Dot format of NUM. There I will write it. I will write one more for loop. For I in range of what? 1 comma 11. Good. 11. While 10 entries I need. Very good. Print of \t n, that is a number, into I value is equal to product. Dot format of what? NUM comma I comma NUM into I. NUM into I. What I will do next? Else part. Here I will close this line. This is completing the multiplication table for one outer loop. So tell me what is this is called? Outer loop. What outer loop is doing? Outer loop supply the number. Correct or not? Outer loop supply the number. Inner loop will do what? Will generate the multiplication table for the number which is supplied by the outer loop. So inner loop generates what? Generates what, students? Multiplication tables. Multiplication table for the number supplied by outer loop. That's all. Outer loop. Beautiful. That's all. Now run this code. So here inner loop, this is outer loop. Loop in a loop is written. So see this now. Beautiful. Enter how many multiplication tables you want. 5. See this now. Beginning multiplication table 1, table 2, table 3, table 4, table 5, ending. You generate in childhood days, you purchase one tables book, right or not? So 20. So see, in a fraction of seconds, all the tables are coming. See this now. From 1 onwards, the table book is generated. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 like this. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, etc. 19, 20. Easy or difficult? So outer loop will do what? Supply the number. Inner loop will generate the multiplication table. Easy or difficult? No. But the requirement is what? Okay, this is 1 to n tables you are doing. But I want random numbers, random multiplication tables. I want 18th table. I want 17th table. I want 6th table. I want 14th table. I want 6th table. Like that I want. How can I do that? Actually, continue. So I will go for what? I want to ask you, which type of random number multiplication tables you want. You will enter that number, 23 number, 16th number, 19th number, like that you will enter whatever the multiplication tables you want. For that only I will generate what? For that only I want to generate what? Multiplication table. Is this clear? Write down one more. Write a Python program. Write a Python program which will generate random multiplication tables. Random multiplication tables. Random multiplication tables based on programmer's choice. Based on programmer's choice. Based on programmer's choice. Based on programmer's choice. Are you following that? So now I'm going to enter into the like this. Look at students. Now I'm going to take up something like this. Observe it. 6.py. 6.py. There I will take up something like this. Here you see 6.py. Here. Generating random multiplication tables. Random multiplication tables based on programmer's choice. Programmer's choice. Very, very important. Tell me, what should I do now? Take what are all the values you want, you take it. LST is equal to, where can I take the values? LST is equal to 19th table, 6th table, 8th table, something like, 14th table, some minus 6 1 I am writing, something like, 26th table. I want something like, 13th table or 18th table I want. These are the list of values are available. Do you know how to read these values dynamically? Yes, last class only we said, even in previous class also I said, okay, these are my list of numbers. What should I do now? Read the value, generate the multiplication. Read the value, generate the multiplication table. How do you read the value? For num in where LST. For num in LST. How do you do that? Print of num. You see that numbers are printed or not? For 19, you generate what? Multiplication table. What this is called? Outer loop. Outer loop. Supply the number or not? Right. That too, the number which is supplied by the outer loop is greater than or equal to what? Greater than or equal to what? 1 0 also I will take it. 0 no multiplication table. Minus 6 no multiplication table. For positive number only I want to give the multiplication table. When the number is coming, I'm checking here. What is that? If NUM less than or equal to 0, what I will do? Say continue. Continue. Continue would రాయాల్సిన పని అక్కడ. Need not to write. I will say simply pass. Pass. Negative number, pass. Positive number, generate the output. There I will write it what? Else. Else. But when you write pass, compulsory you would write else. When you write continue, no need to write else. That is called subject. Why you don't put a question mark? If a number is less than or equal to 0, pass. If the number is positive, write in the else part. What should I do now? There I will write. If that is the case, you carry this entire thing. You carry that entire thing. Print that multiplication table for that number and then range, everything is done. Execute. Run this now. What I got it, you see? What I got it? 19th table, 8th table. This is called what? 0 related. Next is called what, 14th. Next is called 26, 18. That's all. If you are very much interested to print invalid input, if you are interested to print invalid input, if you are interested, you can write continue also. You can write even continue also, no problem. You'll get the output. You can write even this place, what you can say, print of what, invalid input. Invalid input. You can say invalid input. Dot format of what? NUM. NUM. Run this example here. See that. See this now. What is this now? 0 is what? Invalid input. 0 is invalid input. -6 is invalid input. Other things are printed. So once you know subject, you can write anyway. Once you have good hair on the head, you can keep rubber band anywhere. If no hair is there, ring road, bypass road only. You decide what to do. This type of values, I want to read dynamically. Shall I go for it? How to read that dynamically? Now I'm going to tell you. LST. Now I will write the code. Can I write the code? Tell me. N is equal to int of input of enter how many multiplication tables how many random, I will write random multiplication tables you want if n less than or equal to 0, say what now is what? Invalid input dot format of n. If it is else, I will enter that many number of things for I in range of 1 comma, what is this now? N plus 1. There I will take it. Num is equal to int of input of enter. What is this now? Value. Dot format of what? I. Dot format of I. I will take it LST dot append of NUM. What is this LST here, students? Empty list. So append of this. Now I will write it here, given numbers. So there I am saying for your given list of values. Given list of values. I say here dot format of what? What is this? LST. After that, now I will write this entire thing. This entire part, I'll press one tab. Are you following me? Given values are like this. And for that, I'm printing the multiplication tables. Try. Now say, I want 5. Enter the first value, 5. I'm getting random values. Now I will say something like, 19th table. I say some -4. I'll say one 17th table. I'll say one 0. I want 123. See that what is coming here. Given list of values, 19th table is coming. -4 is invalid input. Next 17th table is coming. Next is called 0 is invalid input. And 23 table is coming. Like that you can enter whatever you like it. Did you understand, students? Easier. So here it is known as which loop? This is known as which loop? And what about this loop here? Inner loop. Outer loop supply the number. Inner loop will take what? Generates a number. This is about one more kind of looping strategy. Online students, is it clear for you? One more example. Write down. Write a Python program. Write a Python program which will generate list of primes list of primes within the given within n where n is a positive number. First of all, did you understand the question? First of all, do you know prime number logic? I already said now. Prime number logic I already said that I am using today with the inner loops. Even during that 5 primes, I said in further also I am going to use it. Remember that? So I am going to use. Outer loop supplies what? Numbers. Inner loop supplies what? Decide the number is prime or not. Even I am using break statement also today. Where I am using break statement? Inner loop I am using. Once it comes out of inner loop, it will go to the outer loop to supply the next number. I'm saying I'm supplying 2. What you will say? Sir, it is prime, you will say. Next number 3 I'm saying. What you will say? Prime. I'll say number 4. What you will say? not prime. Next 5, prime. 6, like that you will say prime or not prime. Not prime means you will say break or not, right? Now I'm using inner loop 7, inner loop example 7.py, inner loop example 7.py, easy, 7.py. There I'm going to take up, say here, program for generating inner loops. Program for generating inner loops. List of what? Primes. List of primes within the given range n. Given range n. 7.py. 6 or 7? 7. Right. Come on now. What is the range? N is equal to int of input of enter list of prime, list of primes within the range. And what is your range? 10. If I say 10 primes, I want to print 2. Come on. 2, 3, 5, 7, 9. That's all. These are the primes within what number? 10 numbers. Right? Now I'm going to take. If n less than or equal to 1, 1 is not a prime, students. Primes will start from 2. Already you know this logic. So this I am going to write it is what? Invalid. Is invalid. Dot format of what? N. Dot format of n. So here if I come to this else. Now it is coming to else. Now I will enter the number called 10. 10 less than or equal to 1, false, coming to which part? Else part. In the else part I will write the logic. Tell me now. For NUM, in the range of 1 comma what? N plus 1. N plus 1. Okay. It is going to give you what? That too, I should not go for 1 onwards. Why? I should go for 2. Why 2? Prime numbers starts from 2 only. Prime number starts from 2 only. I am going to write NUM. Just I am running outer loop this is. Now I am saying 10. 10. It is going to print. It is going to print. Yeah, I entered wrong. Some 10 I am writing. What is happening? 2 to 10 I am going to say. There I will say. What are all the numbers are prime? I will print it. What are all the numbers are not prime? I don't print it. I hope you are following, students. So these are, I am not going to print it. I am not going to print it. These are called primes. If you want, I can add to one list also. Prime list, I will add it. Shall we start? So this is called what? Supplying the numbers. This is outer loop. Outer loop, this is called. Supply what? Number. Supply the number. Next, what should I do? Come on, guys. Prime number logic I already said. I am not going to repeat again. You need to take care. For I in range of 2 comma NUM. 2 comma NUM. 2 comma for I in range of 2 comma NUM. Whatever the number is coming, I am going to take from that number 2 to that number minus 1. It will take. What I do there? NUM percentage I is equal to 0. I wrote it there. RS is equal to what? You know, false. And before that, RS is equal to true. I already said to you in the class and break. And I said break. Once you say break, it is coming out of that. It is coming out of the for loop. There I will write what? If true, if RS, if RS, if the number is RS, what is that? Prime number it is. I will print that. If you want to add any list of primes, so primes list is equal to what I am saying? List. Now I am adding there. What is this now? Primes list dot append of what? NUM. That's all. That's all. Come out of that outer for loop. Now I am writing else. Now I am writing else. Here I am going to write it. Print of what? List of primes. List of primes within is equal to like this. Dot format of what? N comma what? Primes list. That's all. Run. Say the number called 10. What are the numbers? 2, 3, 5, 7. 2, 3, 5, 7. You say some 50. You say some 50. See the list of primes. Getting? You say the value called what? 100. You say the 100. These are the list of primes. You say the value called something like minus 4. Minus 4. What is that? Invalid input. You say the value called 1. It is called invalid input. Prime number starts from 2 only. So next is called what? I'll say 2. It is 2. Within the 2 is 2 only. Are you following this? This is the program. I will say some 15. I'll say some 15. These are the numbers are going to come. If I say 17, 17 also will come because 17 plus 1 I said. This is a beautiful program. This is a very important example. This is inner loop here, inner loop here. This is called what loop? Outer loop. This will go for what? Inner loop. Decides the number is prime or not. Prime or not. Able to understand? This is comes under inner loops examples. Okay now? Clear or not clear? Clear. So I'll stop this now and further and I'll go for this is an inner loop. One more example I want to cover here. Some more examples. This is comes under third level examples. Conditionals, loopings, transfer flow, inner loops. 4 level examples. Now beyond this I want to talk about it. Clear? Inner loops clear? Write down one more example. Write a Python program. Write a Python program which will accept which will accept list of 1 minute student, which will accept a line of text. You write like that. Which will accept a line of text. Which will accept a line of text and split into words and split into words and find highest length word and find highest length word and find highest length word. Able to follow? The question itself must be clear. So here I am writing line of text. See students, Python is an object oriented programming language. What are the words I need to get it? What are the words to get it? Come on fast. Python is an object oriented programming language. Obviously Python is going to be what? How many words? How many letters? 6. Is how many? 2. Next an also 2. Next object 6. Object also 6. Next oriented is what? 8. Programming. Come on. 11. And lang is what? 4. What is an output to get it? Output to expected output is what? Programming. This is the one I need to get it. Shall we start up? Right. Classwork or homework? Huh? Homework I don't give because I don't want to give you, because whether you will do it or not, I don't know, because I know you are so busy outside. Let me tell you this. This is a very frequently asked question. Very generally asking this question now. Okay, start. Now look at all of you. I'm going to take up loops concept. I need to use it. What is this now? Find max length word. Find max length word dot what? Py. Find max length word dot py. Right. Tell me now, what should I do? Line is equal to input of enter a line of text. Enter a line of text. Done. Enter a line of text. Are you getting? Now what should I do next? What is the next? If I will write it, len of line is equal to what? 0. Len of length is called what? 0. Now say what? You must enter a line of text. You must enter a line of text. Right. If it is else, why I am going to say length of this now? If I enter any text, message is coming, I don't enter immediately, I'll just press enter key. What is the length at that time? 0. 0 means what is the message to be given? You must enter a line of text. If I enter this sentence, Python is an object-oriented programming language like this. If I enter this value like this, line is equal to like this, then that time length is equal to 0, false. Coming to where? Line number 6. What should I do now? What should I do that time? Words is equal to line dot split. Line dot split. Print of what here? Words. Words is which type? List type. See that? Try to run this. Python is an object-oriented programming. You are going to get that into words. Understand? Well, after that, I want to print that words and then its length also I want to print. How do you print? For word in where? Words. For word in words, I will say word comma, len of what? Word. Words are the word. From words I am taking what? One word. That word I am printing plus its length also I am printing. You see this now? Enter this data. See this now? What is coming? Python 6. All these things are coming or not? Now, that type of thing. Only sample data I printed. But I want to keep this data as a, in one place I have to keep it. Because just I calculated on the spot. This data, first what is coming? Python, I have to take it as 6. Next what is I colon 2. Next an colon 2. Object colon 6. Oriented colon 8. Programming colon 11. Language colon 4. I need to take up. This is comes under what? Dictionary I want to take it. Dictionary I want to take it. How do you take them as a dictionary? I am going to take up now. In the for loop, I want to take it as a dictionary. What should I do now? Create an empty dictionary. Create an empty dictionary. So what I'm saying, dobj is equal to dict of create an empty dict. Create an empty dict for storing word and its length. Word and its length I want to start with. Tell me now, how do you do that? dobj of what? Word. I already said that equal to. How to add the data to the empty dictionary? Of what? len of word I need to write it. So that word will be taken as a key and length will be taken as a value of value. That's all. Come to this place, else part. I'm going to take dobj, I'm going to print. See this now? Try to run. So here I'm writing Java. Python is an object-oriented. Python 6 is an like this. I got it. Next, I need to take what? Maximum word I need to get it. Maximum word I need to get it. So take it once again, that output process once. This I will carry. You can enter anything. Just for sample thing I am going to take up. Done. Tell me, what should I do now? From here, what should I do? Are you following first of all? You need not to generate the logic. If you understand the logic, it is enough. Now I need to take it. Online students, take these values. 6 to these values, you take it. These values, you take it. How do you take the values from the dictionary? Madhu Babulu, dobj dot values. DOBJ dot values. Dot get kaadu. Wrong answer that is. DOBJ dot values, which will give you what? Print of what? Values. Point to point I am writing and showing. Already explained this concept. You see this now. You got it what? Python is an object oriented programming language. So here I will remove. This is an output. I got it. Here I want to get it. This line I will enter. This you enter it. Now see that only values are coming. Are you getting or not? That values I will find highest value. I will get it. Highest value. What I will do? Max I will write it. Max of max. Already max I said in the class. Max. You run this again. See this now. What I got it? 11 I got it. That indicates highest word length I got it. That indicates in place of that, here only I will get what? Max of DOBJ dot value. What is this now? MLLEN. Max length I am going to get it. Max. MAXLEN. I got it. Max length. So max length what is coming or not? Max, the word related length I am getting it. MAXLEN. Try to run last and final. I am writing HYD is the capital of TS. What is the answer now? Capital. 7 is coming or not? That 7 is called what? Highest word length. Enough. Now I will go to, keep in mind, in this case, what is the value of max LEN? 11. In this case. Are you following? Online students, careful. Now I am going to write it. One beautiful statement here. I will use many more things. Now I am going to say, get the key and its value. Compare that value with which value? Max length. How do you do that? Now I am going to start with the concept like this. How do you write it? For key, comma, value. In where? DOBJ dot items. Just I am printing. Just to print చేస్తాను చూడండి. Key, comma, sum like this, comma, value. For your understanding, I am printing. Other than that, nothing is there. Just run. I am writing. Right. What is coming? All these things are coming or not? What is my value? Max LEN value. What is the max LEN value? 11. That 11 I will compare with what? 6. So Python is not a max length word. 11 you compare with what? 2. Is not a max length word. 2 I will compare, no. 6 I will compare, no. 8 I will compare, no. 11 is equal to 11. Yes, that is called what? Highest length word. Be careful. Inside of that, I am comparing. If, come on guys, value. If what? Value double equal to what? Value double equal to what? Max LEN. Max LEN. If the value is equal to max LEN, you print what? Key. You print key. That's all. Finished. Finished. If you want to place that, suppose here only one word is there. Who knows? There is a more than one word also will present. So that time what I will do? So max LEN list. Max LEN words is equal to one empty I am taking. What I will do? What I am doing? Max length words dot what? Append of what is that? Key. Beautiful. Finishing this. Now I am going to say print of what? Max length words. Max length words. Writing here. Max length words. I am writing below. Print of what is this now? Max length words I am printing. Try to run. Start. Enter. Python is an object oriented programming, which is going to print what? Max length word is called what? Programming. If you want to eliminate this bracket, you can happily eliminate this. You can write it for word in where max length words print What is this? Backslash T dot what? Format of what? Word. That's all. So you can print it. You can print like this. You can say this now. You can say this end of this. For loop. Done. Beautiful. Say this now. I say here Python is an object-oriented programming language. So got it? What is the highest word? Programming. You run again. HYD is the capital of TS. What is that capital? You try to run it once again in another way. Let me enter equal cap of TS. Cap. HYD 3 letters. The word D is also 3 letters. Cap is also 3 letters. What is happening? HYD, the, and cap. Are you following? So here I am going to write it like this. You can say Python is an object-oriented something like what, LANGUAGE. So something like this. Oriented and language. 880 is printed or not? Something like that. You can print like this. You can say last and final. I just want to say remove this, and what is printed? Python and object. You say next, don't enter anything. You must enter a line of text because I did not give anything. Is it understandable? This is related to how to find the max length words. Easy up? Fine. So this is the inner loops concept is done. Index of that, all the loops and everything, programming examples done. Tomorrow class, when I come back, I will explain some more beyond the scope of the examples we discussed. I'll explain more than this concept. I will explain some different logic related programs. I will explain different related logic programs. I'll explain. Don't miss tomorrow class. Very important. Okay, now once we complete it tomorrow, our loops concept will be done over. Next day, I will introduce the concept of what? Functions I will introduce. In functions concept, you will come across the keyword called what? Return. Functions, I'm going to use again 11 days. I'm going to talk. There again, loops will come, operators will come, everything will be coming across. Don't miss tomorrow class. Very important discussion. I'm going to make it. Okay. Thank you. All the best. So any doubts are there, students? You can hold on. I'll discuss with you people.